guys, welcome back to my channel, and hello if you're new here. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome to my new TBR cart. I've finally got a TBR cart and I absolutely love it and I'm obsessed with it, and I can't figure out exactly how I want to, not necessarily decorate it, but how I want to stack it. So for this video, everything's facing the wrong way anyway, because we're going to be blindly choosing my TBR for November. I actually literally can't believe it's near the end of the year. For the first time all year, well, as of today, I'm 3 books ahead of schedule on my Goodreads tracker, which is, I think the most I ever managed to get ahead all year was 1 book ahead of schedule. I'm 3 books ahead. So I just want to thank everybody for the support and everything. I honestly feel like this reading year has been so insanely up and down. But anyway, we need to pick out these books for November. I basically have put in this TBR cart all the books I sort of need, obviously I don't need to read them, but all of the books that I either have had in previous TBRs and didn't get around to them over the last couple of months, books that I have been meaning to read for a really long time, and books that are also on brand sort of this time of year, like November, December time. So I've got the spinner here. I've put it 1 to 25. I can't actually remember how many books there are on here. Although that being said, I have really randomly got the Emily McIntyre Sugar Lake series in here, which I don't actually plan on reading. So yeah, I've got like 1 to 25. I have been horrendous at sticking to a TBR this year. I think probably the worst ever. Last year I was amazing at it. I would read everything pretty much to the book month to month, but this year I'm the biggest mood reader ever, and I just cannot make my mind up with what it is that I want to read ever. And I'm finding that I was in and out of reading slumps all year long, and the best way for me to stay out of a reading slump is to switch things up and not have to worry about sticking particularly to a TBR. So this is why I got the cart, because I thought I can put all of the books that I want to read into this cart, because it actually holds so many more books than I thought. And then if I do feel like I'm mood reading or entering a slump or something, I can still pick a book that I've been wanting to read, but it's just, I'm not, because you know what I keep doing? I keep buying books and then reading the new books that I've bought and then still not, like, for example, From Blood and Ash is in this cart. I bought From Blood and Ash 3 years ago. I have still not read it. But then there are books that I bought literally about 3 or 4 weeks ago and I've read about 4 of them already. Honestly, being a reader is like the best and worst thing. It's the best and the worst. But anyway, I'm gonna pick 10 books. I don't know if I'm gonna read 10 books. I also do know that I am currently vlogging, reading my 5-star predictions. 10 books gives me options, because after I finish that vlog, I'm probably not gonna get through 10 books for the rest of the month. So I've got options to pick from, if I, just depending on what mood I'm in. Because right now my mood is literally just dark fantasy, but I don't have that many of those. Haul incoming. Well, I say incoming, I mean, I'm on a book buying ban, but I'm gonna break it in December, I think. I don't know. So let's pick the TBR. So I'm gonna spin. It's always nerve-wracking. What are we on? 21. You actually will not believe what 21 was. From Blood and Ash. That was so weird. Okay, well, I mean, I'm guessing this book just didn't want to wait any longer. I think also one of the things that put me off is that this is the only book in that series that I have, and there are so many books in that series, and I don't even know if it's complete yet, but I really enjoy fantasy at the moment, so maybe I'll try it, and if I like it, I will then go and get the rest of the books in the series, and if I don't like it, it doesn't matter, because I just had this book. I don't know, maybe I've been sitting on a gem for the last 3 years. $23. Well, I know that was 21, so 22, 23. What book is this? Oh, okay, this is good, because actually I meant to read this the last 2 months, I think, and it's Black Sunshine by Karina Howe. This is a dark, spicy vampire romance. It is book 1 of 2 in a duet. Obviously, book 1 of 2 in a duet. State the obvious, Poppy. I think I was gonna, what vlog was I gonna read this in, and I didn't get around to reading it. But anyway, I can't remember. Story of my life, didn't get around to reading it. I definitely do want to pick this up, because also I just feel like this time of year is perfect for dark vampire romance. $9. Okay, what an exciting pick. A Darker Shade of Magic by V. Schwab. So excited about that. I also think and predict this could potentially be 5 stars. This book is relatively new to me. I haven't actually had it that long. It's not like one of those books that have been sat on my shelves for like 1 to 2 years, but I only had the first book in this series. I didn't want to get carried away in case I didn't like it, but I love the premise of this. To do with parallel universes and travels and time travel between different versions of London. It sounds great. 3. I'm buzzing. Buzzing. So this is Secrets by Sophie Grace. Secret Society Dark Romance. Also, I love the cover. I think it's a really great dark romance cover. I was really hoping that this would be picked out. Really hoping, so I'm glad. Lovely Wicked Things. So this is the second book in the Hollow's Rose series by Trisha Wolfe. Oh my god. Lovely Bad Things. I read it way over a year ago. It was insane. It's a dark, very dark romance. Trisha actually sent me these books, but at the time the last book wasn't out, and because it was such a complex read, beautifully written, like amazing, but just because it was quite complex, I just wanted to sit down again and just read them like book 2 and 3 one after the other, so that everything was fresh in my mind. And I have not got around to doing that yet, so I'm really happy this has been picked out. This is perfect for this time of year because the romance, it's very gothic, it's dark, it's super clever, very psychological. I was obsessed with the first book. I've thought about it regularly ever since I read it, which I think was maybe March 2023, so a really long time ago. 20. Skin of a Sinner by Avena St. Graves. I just recently actually read my first book by this author, which was Death's Obsession. I didn't really love it, but I already had this. I think this is Foster Siblings, or have I just completely made that up? But I do believe it is pretty, it's quite dark. Oh my god, I just read the dedication. It's a great dedication, so I'm excited. 5. Vicious by V. Schwab. This I had already planned on reading in my vlog that I'm currently in the middle of, which is reading my 5-star book predictions. So this is 100% going to be included in that now, because I do think that this book is going to be a 5-star read for me. Very different to anything I've read. It's a new author for me and it's fantasy, and I just feel like that is a concoction that is going to lead to 5 stars. Ooh, okay. This is an interesting book. I completely forgot that this was on my cart. It's Haunted Love by Sheridan Ann, and I've not read anything by this author, but she is a dark romance author, obviously. I'm sure you're not surprised to hear that. I think this was a newer release from this year. I know absolutely nothing about this, so actually this is going to be a book that I'm going to be going in relatively blind to. If anybody has read this and enjoyed it, then please let me know in the comments, or if you've read anything by the author. I do have another book by her called Pretty Monster, which I know is a stalker romance, but I know nothing about this at all, to be completely honest. So, oh, it's brother's best friend trope. Exciting. Bit of Rena Kent. So this is Empire of Desire. I'm currently reading Rena's Universe. I say currently. I haven't actually read anything from her in a couple of months, but I want to read everything in order just so that I can get the full, I don't know, just the full picture, the full feeling. I know you don't have to. I know you can just read the series as and when you want, but just me with my kind of, I don't know, it's not really an OCD, but I just have this thing where I just need to read it in order, which is like the best and worst decision I've ever made, because one, I'm really enjoying it and seeing all of these sort of connections and who belongs to who and who knows who and who's with who and all that stuff. I love seeing all of that forming, but the other thing is I really want to read Legacy of Gods, and it's the last series in her universe so far. So painful. But where I'm at to is Empire of Desire. I think you read this before The Throne Duet. I really do enjoy her. She's like, you know, those dark romance authors that you just feel like you can't really go wrong when you pick up one of her books. I feel like that's who Rena Kent is. 1. This is a really exciting TBR. So this is Luna Mare by Pepper Winters. I think it's dark romance. It says here, it comes a brand new forbidden and forced proximity romance, perfect for those who love angst, longing and steam. I have seen so many 5-star reviews for this. I think it's meant to be a bit more on the emotional side as well. She really kindly sent these out to me quite a while ago now, and I actually also do have a special edition of this now for my Mystic Box subscription, and I remember thinking to myself, how can I have a special edition of a book I have not even read yet? It's ridiculous. I think I've heard people say that this book literally made them cry. I know nothing about this author, so I'm going to be going in pretty blind into this book, but this seems like a little bit different than the other reads. Like, it's not necessarily dark romance or fantasy, so this would definitely be sort of like a palette cleanser book. Potentially, unless it's emotional, then obviously probably the most difficult palette cleanser I could have chosen, but okay, I think I've picked 10 or potentially more than 10. I don't know, when I come back to edit this I'll find out. So that is the TBR for November. I'm actually really pleased with that. I feel like it's a really good mixture of things. December I am actually saving just to reading purely fantasy, and I'm going to finish the Zodiac Academy series. I'm probably not going to pick out a TBR really for December. I might read maybe some Christmas rom-coms. Probably not. So I am happy with that selection. I think it's a really good selection for essentially my last mixed up reading month of the year. But anyway, there we go. That is my November TBR. I'm excited. I'm going to get reading. I'm off work this week, so I plan to just sit and read and read and read. So far that's not going so well because, I don't know, we're on Tuesday and I just feel like I've barely read still. It's just the story of my life. It is actually raining outside, so it's perfect reading weather. I'm going to put some candles on, make a cup of tea and start reading some of my TBR. Let me know what books you guys are reading in November, what you plan to read for the rest of the year. If you've read any of these books, you've enjoyed them, let me know. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming content, and I'll see you in my next video.